The courtroom went completely silent. Not the normal silence you hear when a judge pauses before speaking. This was different. This was the kind of silence that tells everyone in the room that someone has just made a terrible mistake. At one side stood Marcus Chen, a tired bakery owner whose family business had been attacked for 6 long months. At the other side stood Eleanor Patterson, a 68-year-old woman with perfect silver hair, expensive pearls, and the attitude of someone who believed respect should be handed to her before she had earned it. And above them both sat Judge Judy, calm, focused. Unmoved, for most of the hearing, Eleanor had acted like she controlled the room. She interrupted. She rolled her eyes. She sighed loudly. She spoke as if her age made her more important than contracts, photos, receipts, and facts. But then she crossed the line. She looked straight at Judge Judy and said, "Young lady, you need to learn to respect your elders." For a moment, nobody moved. The audience froze. The bailiff looked stunned. Marcus raised his eyes in disbelief, because Eleanor Patterson, at 68 years old, had just called Judge Judy young lady. And worse than that, she had tried to lecture her about age, wisdom, and respect. Judge Judy did not scream. She did not lose control. She simply stared at Eleanor with that cold, dangerous look that tells you the damage is coming. Then she reached for a folder, and what happened next did not just decide a case. It exposed who Eleanor Patterson really was. But before that moment, this entire case had started with something very simple, a birthday cake. Marcus Chen owned a small bakery called Chen's Sweet Corner. It was not a big company. It was not a chain. It was a family business built by his parents almost 40 years earlier. His parents had worked day and night to build that bakery. They had served the same neighborhood for decades. Families came to them for birthdays, weddings, graduations, anniversaries, and every special moment that needed something sweet at the center of it. Marcus had grown up inside that bakery. He knew the smell of fresh bread before he knew anything else. He knew how much sacrifice it took to keep a small business alive. He knew that one mistake could cost trust, and trust was everything, so he was careful. He treated every order seriously, and when Eleanor Patterson came in to order a custom birthday cake for her granddaughter, Marcus handled it exactly the way he handled every important order. Eleanor wanted a 3-tier vanilla cake, buttercream frosting, edible flowers, specific colors, enough servings for 50 people. Marcus wrote everything down. He repeated the order back to her. He confirmed the size, the flavor, the frosting, and the decoration. Then he prepared a written order form. Eleanor looked at it, and she signed it. The price was agreed. The deposit was paid. Everything seemed normal, but Marcus had no idea that this one cake order was about to become the beginning of a nightmare. On the day of delivery, Marcus made sure the cake was perfect. His team had spent hours on it. The flowers were carefully made. The frosting was smooth. The tiers were even. The colors matched what Eleanor had approved. Before leaving the bakery, Marcus took photos of the cake from several angles. It was something he always did for custom orders, just to protect himself in case there was ever a misunderstanding. Then he loaded the cake carefully and delivered it on time. But when Eleanor opened the door, her face changed almost immediately. She looked at the cake and exploded. She said it was wrong. She said she had ordered chocolate, not vanilla. She said she wanted fondant, not buttercream. She said it was supposed to feed 75 people, not 50. She said the colors were wrong. She said Marcus had ruined her granddaughter's birthday party. Marcus stayed calm. He showed her the signed order form. He showed her the details written clearly on the page. He showed her the photos of the finished cake. Everything matched the contract. But Eleanor did not care. She was not looking for proof. She was looking for surrender. She wanted Marcus to admit he was wrong, even though the documents showed he was not. She wanted him to apologize. She wanted him to make another cake immediately for free. Marcus tried to solve the situation. He offered her a refund. He offered a compromise. He tried to speak respectfully. But Eleanor refused everything because money was not what she wanted. She wanted Marcus to bow down and accept blame. When Marcus left her house, he thought maybe she would calm down. But Eleanor had already started planning her revenge. Within hours, she posted negative reviews everywhere she could. Google, Yelp, Facebook, neighborhood groups. She claimed the cake was terrible. She claimed Marcus was rude. She claimed the bakery had destroyed a child's birthday party. Then she went even further. She started warning people not to buy from Chen's Sweet Corner. She told neighbors, she posted photos from bad angles. She complained to local groups, she contacted organizations. She even filed complaints that forced Marcus to waste time defending his bakery again and again. Every inspection came back clean. Every serious complaint fell apart. But the damage was already happening. People saw the reviews, customers got nervous, orders slowed down. Families who had trusted Chen's sweet corner for years started hesitating. And for Marcus, that was the most painful part. He could handle one angry customer, but he could not handle watching his parents' 40-year reputation get destroyed by lies. His business began losing money. His staff became worried. His wife saw the stress on his face every night. His parents watched quietly as the bakery they had built with their whole lives came under attack. For 6 months, Eleanor kept pushing. She did not stop. She did not accept proof. She did not accept refunds. She did not accept peace. She wanted Marcus to admit something that was not true. Then she filed a small claims lawsuit. She demanded money for emotional distress and a ruined birthday party. That was when Marcus decided enough was enough. He took the case to Judge Judy. He brought every document he had, the signed order, the cake photos, the reviews, the complaints, the messages, the financial losses. Everything was organized. Eleanor came prepared too, but not with real proof. She came with attitude. She came with a performance. She came dressed like a respectable grandmother who had been wronged. And she believed that if she looked dignified enough, everyone would believe her. But Judge Judy was not impressed by pearls, age, or dramatic speeches. She wanted evidence. Marcus spoke first. He explained how Eleanor placed the order. He explained how she signed the contract. He explained how the cake was made exactly as requested. Then he explained what happened afterward. He did not shout. He did not insult her. He simply told the truth. Eleanor stood there, shaking her head, making faces, and muttering under her breath. Judge Judy noticed everything. Then Judge Judy turned to Eleanor and asked a simple question. Do you have proof that the order was different from what Mr. Chen has shown me? Eleanor avoided the question. She started talking about her granddaughter. She talked about the party. She talked about how embarrassed she was. Judge Judy stopped her. That was not my question. The room became quiet. Judge Judy asked again. Do you have proof? Eleanor admitted she did not. Then she said, Marcus must have written the order wrong. Judge Judy looked at her carefully. So you signed a contract without reading it, and now you want this court to punish him for following the contract you signed. Eleanor's expression tightened. She said she was 68 years old and did not have time to read every paper people put in front of her. That was when the courtroom started to feel the shift, because Judge Judy does not accept excuses dressed up as authority. Then Eleanor made it worse. She said younger people had no respect. She said business owners today did not understand customer service or SIPs. She said Marcus needed to learn responsibility. Judge Judy leaned forward and asked, how many other businesses have you had problems with? Eleanor smiled, thinking this would help her. She started naming them: a restaurant, a dry cleaner, a landscaping company, other stores, other workers, other people who had supposedly failed her. But the more she talked, the clearer it became. This was not one bad experience. This was a pattern. Every time Eleanor had a problem, she was the victim. Every time someone disagreed with her, they were disrespectful. Every time someone refused her demands, she tried to punish them. Judge Judy listened. Then she said, Mrs. Patterson, this was not about a cake. Mr. Chen offered you a refund. He tried to fix the situation. You refused because what you wanted was not money. You wanted him to accept your version of the truth. Eleanor lifted her chin. She began talking about her age, her life, her children, her community work, and how older people deserved respect. Judge Judy's face did not change. Then she said, I am 81 years old. I have heard more excuses than you can imagine. Age does not replace evidence. Age does not erase a signed contract. And age does not give you permission to harass a small business owner because he refuses to confess to something he did not do. The courtroom became tense. Eleanor's face turned red. She could not accept being corrected. And then she said the words that destroyed her case completely. Young lady, you need to learn to respect your elders. Nobody spoke. Nobody even breathed. Judge Judy sat still for a few seconds. Then she picked up the folder beside her. Her voice was calm, but colder than before. Since you want to discuss age, wisdom, and respect, let's discuss your record. Eleanor's confidence began to disappear. Judge Judy opened the file and revealed that Eleanor had a history of disputes, complaints, and conflicts with businesses and people in her community. This was not an innocent grandmother who had been hurt by one bad cake order. This was someone who had repeatedly used complaints and pressure to get her way. Judge Judy explained that Eleanor's behavior showed a pattern. She complained, she demanded, she attacked, and when people did not give in, she tried to ruin them. Eleanor tried to interrupt. Judge Judy raised one hand. "Do not speak." Eleanor stopped instantly. Then Judge Judy turned the whole case into one clear truth. You use age as a weapon. You think respect means people must obey you, but respect is earned by behavior, not by the number of years you have lived. Marcus stood silently, his eyes full of emotion. For 6 months, he had been defending himself against lies. Now someone was finally saying the truth out loud. Judge Judy looked back at Eleanor. You tried to damage this man's business because he would not agree to something that was false. You ignored the contract. You ignored the photos. You ignored the facts. And now you want this court to reward you for harassment. Then came the ruling. Judge Judy ruled in favor of Marcus Chen. Eleanor's claim was dismissed. Marcus was awarded damages for the harm caused to his business, and Judge Judy delivered one final lesson. Respect is not automatic. It is earned. And today, what you earned was accountability. The gavel came down. Case dismissed. Marcus stood there with tears in his eyes. Not because the money could erase everything, not because 6 months of stress would disappear overnight, but because the truth had finally won. Eleanor, who had walked into court believing she could control everyone with age, attitude, and pressure, left with nothing but humiliation. Her pearls could not save her. Her age could not protect her. Her performance could not defeat evidence. And when the case aired, people understood exactly why. It mattered because everyone has seen someone like Eleanor before. Someone who believes being older means they can be cruel. Someone who thinks respect means fear. Someone who attacks workers, small businesses, and ordinary people simply because they do not get their way. But in that courtroom, Eleanor met someone she could not bully. She met a judge who did not care about her performance, only the truth. And that is why this case became unforgettable. Marcus Chen did not win because he was louder. He won because he had proof. Eleanor did not lose because she was old. She lost because she thought age gave her permission to mistreat people. And Judge Judy reminded everyone watching of one powerful lesson. Years can make a person older, but only character makes a person worthy of respect.